When playing Final Fantasy XII, we've all been in the following situation. Every character is low on HP, and you use X potions to refill their health. Yet, only 2 X potions go off at the same time, and the other one is stuck until one of the other X potion animations is finished. Now, this might not have happened to you if you played the Zodiac Age version, but we will get back to this later. What we encountered here is what we call the effect capacity. To understand this phenomenon, you need to know that every single spell, item, or technique in Final Fantasy XII has a specified effect value. Now, these effect values are not visible in game. However, by brute force testing, you can figure out which move has what effect value. With this knowledge, we were then able to figure out each and every effect value for said move. Here's a list of the most important moves and their respective effect value. With all this testing, we've been able to figure out that we can use up to 8 effect values at the same time before the game stops every effect consuming action before the other effects can go off. This is what we refer to as the effect capacity. Now, remember when I said earlier that you probably never encountered this in the remaster? They changed the effect capacity in the remaster and is now way bigger than before and can hold up to 24 effect values at the same time. The effect capacity is the sole reason why the absolutely broken dead character glitch works in Yasmat. But DCG is a topic for another video. Back in March 2021, I did a speedrun of the no license port low level game challenge. This made me use tricks and strats which you'd otherwise never see in a regular FF12 80% run. And on the final boss of that challenge, I used a strat I completely forgot about and never questioned about it until recently. So with DCG, we have a character use an item which is then stuck in a never-ending casting loop. This makes the game think that this one effect is being used constantly. This is especially useful when blocking 8 effect value moves, like one of his last attacks, Mega Flare. However, the Undying uses a bunch of so-called piercing spells as well, which almost every move only uses 4 effects instead of 8. Now, we cannot block a 4 effect spell with just 1 effect in use by DCG, so we have to cast in between with a second character to stop the piercing spell from going off. I chose to use the Holy Mode item, which blocks basically everything except regular attacks, because regular attacks have an effect value of 0. Now, the video is titled Final Fantasy XII's Last Unsolved Mystery, and so far I've only explained what the effect capacity is and how I used it. So, what's the mystery about? The setup which I use for the Undying also blocks the instant attack Divine Sword. But Divine Sword is just a regular attack, right? That's what we thought as well. But for some reason, it still gets blocked. This made me curious, and I checked if I could replicate that outside of the Undying fight somewhere else. So I head to Gyrovegan and tested if I can block other instant attacks like Ram. Like before, I have a character perform DCG with a 1 effect item and a second character use Holy Mode or something effect equal to block the effect capacity fully. And after setting everything up, voila, it just works. This should confirm that instant attacks like Ram or Launch are affected by the effect capacity, right? I mean, I tried to use 9 effects at the same time, and thus the enemy's Ram didn't go off. Does that mean the effect capacity is actually 8.5? This is the neat part. We don't know. I tested the same idea again, this time without the dead character glitch, and to my surprise, it didn't work this time. This made me curious, and I tested the same thing again in the Zodiac Age, with and without DCG. And after testing both, neither worked. Now, to summarize, we can block instant attacks with the dead character glitch on the PS2 version. We cannot block instant attacks without the dead character glitch in the PS2 version. And we cannot block instant attacks in TZA no matter if we use DCG or not. This at least denies that the effect capacity can hold up to 8.5 effect values at the same time. But what is it then? If it doesn't use up any effects, How can it be blocked by a full effect capacity? But sadly, we do not have an answer to this. It is the last mystery we have not been able to solve yet. Thank you everyone for listening.